Alright guys, I'm back, and in this video I'm going to go over the best whitetail hunting gear that personally I cannot really go without. Now some of this stuff, is not a complete necessity, but it's stuff that I really enjoy having, and it's about quality of life type stuff. Don't worry, that noise right there is just my truck making a weird sound. But before we get into it all the way, I just want to tell you guys, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you guys have a great New Year's. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, guys, so the first thing I want to talk about is a trail camera, and more specifically, a Tacticam. In my opinion, these are the best trail cameras on the market. They're not super expensive, and they're cell cameras as well, obviously. But yeah, this is just a quality of life thing. I personally can't go without it, and if you're a trail camera guy, then you got to have some of these in your arsenal. But these things right here are awesome. And again, some of these things are kind of situational for the type of hunting that you do. But yeah, I mean, you can get one of these completely set up for like 130 bucks. So I actually got this one on sale, and it was like, I don't know, like 100 bucks for me to get the whole thing set up. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so the second thing here is, again, sort of situational depending on where you live. But I mean, even me living here in the South, I love having these, and that is hand warmers. Now, I used hot hands for a long time, but these grabbers are way, way warmer and last way longer. And that 10 hours right there, I mean, that's no BS. When I was in Colorado using these, I remember putting some in my pocket before I went hunting that morning. And I put them in my sleeping bag that night because they were still so warm. So yeah, I love these things. All right, so this thing is really important, and that is knives. So this is my pocket knife, actually. Just have it for anything you may need a pocket knife for, opening stuff up, cutting stuff, whatever. And then right here, the most important one is a deer skinning knife. And I actually alternate between a couple, but this is an outdoor edge, and I've had it for a very long time. I've cleaned a lot of deer with it. I've cleaned deer in the field, gutting, quartering, deboning, everything you can think of with that one knife. I can do it all with that one knife. And it has changeable blades on it, so that's really cool. And as you can tell, this is all dinged up and all wore out. I've probably cleaned 30 deer with that thing. And then right here we just have a regular old pocket knife here. This is actually a new knife that I just got, but yeah, razor sharp. And so are these interchangeable blades are extremely sharp right out of the package. So yep, that's gonna be number 3. Let's get on to the next. All right, on to the next, we have a good pair of binoculars, and these are the Nikon P7s. And not a super expensive pair of binoculars, but I've used them Colorado, Arkansas, you name it, and these things have worked awesome for me. Now, one thing is again, these are situational. If you're hunting in an area where you can only see 30 yards all the way around you, you may not need them. But personally, I hunted without binoculars for a very long time, or without a good pair at least for a very long time. And once I got them, I cannot go back to not having them. They're just so useful to have. They're an awesome tool. And yeah, and these are my personal favorites as far as budget binoculars go. I also have a couple pair of Vortex binoculars, but yeah, these are just awesome. All right, so next up here we have a backpack. Now, this is a small little bag, and I don't carry a big bag when I'm hunting whitetail. Obviously mule deer, I carry a bigger bag, and I'm usually not field dressing my deer, so out in the middle of nowhere. So I just have this bag here, and You know, I have my bino harness and stuff in there. But, yeah, I always like to have a bag to carry my stuff, extra ammo, drinks, food, hand warmers. And while we're in here, we can go ahead and talk about a few other things. So, leather gloves. Little leather gloves, also good to have. And I just have a whole stack of them in here I keep in here. Keep your hands clean whenever you get that big buck. I have some broadheads there. And what else do I have in here? I have some hand sanitizer in there. And, you know, there's just a few things I keep in there. And I don't use the hand sanitizer a whole lot, but it's always good to have. More broadheads. And as you can tell, I use this all season long. I have another glove in there. But yeah, just a whole pile of different things in here. I don't think I have anything else down here. It's super important. Oh, yes, I do. And right here, I actually have a portable phone charger. And this thing's awesome to have. I don't use it a ton, but when I do need it, it comes in handy. So we have a charger there and a portable charger, of course. And I've actually used this 4 or 5 times this season, and it still holds a charge. So pretty awesome deal to have there. All right, let's get on to the next one. All right, guys, so this is going to be the final thing here, and that is not necessarily the brand itself, but quality clothing. You know, it is so important to me ever since I started doing it. You know, I hunted with the Walmart stuff and the Bass Pro stuff for a long time, but, you know, ever since I really started, when I started mule deer hunting, I realized how important it is to be warm and have less clothes on. Having that flexibility, having that lightweight material is just so important. And this specifically is a Kuiu Guide DCS jacket. And, you know, it's so important to me now, you know, to be flexible, to be able to move around and not be so bulky and, you know, barely able to move my arms around with those super thick coats. But, yeah, just having quality clothing. And I'm not saying Kuiu specifically. There's a ton of brands out there. There's Sitka and First Light. And, you know, there's even, you know, some cheaper brands out there that have really quality clothing. But, yeah, I mean, this right here has become so important to me over the last couple years. So, yeah, that's going to be probably the last thing. I think I have one more thing, actually, we'll talk about after this jacket here. All right, guys, so the last 2 things here, and again, you know, situational here. You know, you may not need this saw every single time. You know, if you hunt a lot of public land, you may not need this saw. If I carry this saw, you know, it's good to cut bone, and, you know, I use it to cut limbs a lot when I'm bow hunting, some private. But, yeah, I always like having a saw on me. I can throw it in my bag. It's pretty lightweight. And otherwise, I just keep it in my truck. And I always can find a use for that. And then, of course, last but not least, is a decent flashlight. This is actually almost dead. But having a good flashlight is super important. And even having multiple. I actually do have multiple, but I left them at camp. So this is the one that I have right now in my truck. But again, having a good flashlight is always super important to have. Alright, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. And before I get out of here, I just want to wish you guys again a happy holidays. And I hope you guys have a great new year. Leave your must-haves down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And peace out.